Was good. Thank you for joining me, Cornelius. Thank you for joining me live in the chat. Always good to see you. As I'm just going to show on the screen now, today's Drake Maye. Last week was Caleb Williams. I'll put a link to that video, which you're welcome to go and have a look at after this one if you wish. If you don't wish, that's just fine as well. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Bellissimo. I'm going to be breaking down some All-22 tape. You might be thinking, what's an English guy breaking down tape? Well, I've played the game for quite a while, sort of semi-pro type leagues over here in the UK. Played with and against a couple former NFL players. Spent a lot of time, over 20, 25 years, both playing and coaching in the UK. So I do know a little bit about ball. Hopefully you think that's the case. I don't try and tell you what to think here. All I try and do is add a bit of perspective. With that said, today we're going to be looking at Drake Maye. Last week we looked at Caleb Williams with a view to who are the sort of the first round quarterbacks. What are their strengths? What are their flaws? What do they need to work on? What do I think the high is? What do I think the potential downfalls are? That sort of thing. That's going to be my opinion. I want you to make your own based upon the tape you've seen. For that purpose, for Drake Maye today, we're going to be looking at Clemson and also Minnesota. Clemson was probably his toughest game in the last year, and Minnesota was definitely one of his most productive. So with that, we're going to be getting onto the tape, which I'm going to bring in here. So just going to bring it into the stream. Bellissimo, don't mind the Caleb lovers. They really can't see past getting a haul for the #1 pick and setting our team up for a year. Whether you love Caleb Williams, whether you love Justin Fields, whether you love the Chicago Bears, ultimately, this decision is not in our control. But what we can do is we can get a pre-sneak look at what we might get if we decide to choose one of these QBs. And if we don't, we know what we have got in Justin Fields. I certainly believe that I know what we've got in Justin Fields, and that's a quarterback who's shown a lot of ability and in a competently run offense, which he wasn't in under Matt Nagy and he wasn't in under Luke Getsy. He's going to look like a different quarterback. And for Shane Waldron, the new OC, for the Chicago Bears, this is, if you're interested in Drake Maye, the quarterback, or Caleb Williams, overall, you're in a different NFL team. This isn't going to interest you, but my belief is Shane Waldron is going to have an option that he hasn't had yet at quarterback in Justin Fields or Caleb Williams or whoever we choose. But we'll see what that comes to pass. With that, we're going into tape. You can see here, 3rd down, 11 to go. You can see the score is still 0-0. We're going to get into tape and we'll have a look, see what we're looking at. So again, sort of thing that we do here. There's Drake Maye. Looking at what sort of coverage we got, well, it looks like one high. I always tell people to sort of look at alignment. So no wide receiver to the top side of the field. Tight end is the last man on the line. We have a cornerback over the top. That suggests it's probably going to be sort of cover 3, or potentially, with this inside alignment, that suggests zone. Outside alignment suggests zone. So where it's slightly outside the lines, sort of looking into quarterback, suggests zone. Inside alignment is going to sort of come to a position, which means that's probably, it could be match, could be short zone, but we do have other defenders underneath, and we've got an A-gap bluff as well up here. So let's see what we get in terms of the set. So we do get a check release from the tight end, check release from the tight end. This guy's going gun. We've got an inside release by the wide receiver here, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit like he's definitely IDing both the linebackers and the sort of underneath defenders, but also the one high safety to see if that is actually, look, he's got a post snap. So you see him drop back. He's got off the left side of the field, and now he's looking to the right. And you can see, we're still well off. So if this is just like a, quick out from the tight end position, check release out and there, then that's going to be potentially on. But it also looks like we've got a potential conflict if this is zone. But you can see it looks like he's being trailed in man. But if it was zone, that would be the conflict defender there. So it's about what he's seeing, what he's reading. Now the pressure comes. He does have this throw on, but you can see he didn't throw that as an anticipatory throw. Now he's looking back at the middle of the field. And you can see he avoids the rush. Still looking this way. So you can see now he's sort of deciding, can I get it there? Can I get it down here? Because he's one high. The middle of the field safety is never going to get to this if you can throw it deep. That's a possible touchdown. Ends up deciding to take neither of those, just gets upfield. So, what's the good in that? What's the bad in that? So the bad in that for me is we have a check release and then out. That's on. Right, this is on. That's 8 yards. This isn't a particularly difficult read. You can see it's one high. You can see how far off he is. He's never going to drive from outside leverage. He's never going to drive, particularly if you put it sort of, you can put it low, and then he's going to have to come through the wide receiver to play it. So that's, for me, he's looking this way. That's an out. Take it. You know, throw the ball, throw it right now. Take it. He doesn't hesitate. Rush gets there. Has to step up. Okay, he's creating now in the pocket. What does he end up getting? Puts himself into harm's way a little bit and getting sort of 4.5 yards. So what have we got here? Cornelius saying, Jason, totally agree with Jason's former comment. Totally agree. Not saying I'm all in for Fields, but damn, we need to make the trade to Washington and maybe get another first and second round pick. We don't have many picks this year. And we have many holes to fill. Let's not spend it on one person, but spend it on many. I do think we're not in a position where, you know, one quarterback is going to fix all. We do need to solidify the offensive line. That's going to be a focus. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a focus in terms of Ryan Poles in the draft if you're a Bears fan. But if not, we're just going to look at this from the backfield now. So here's where you're going to see, in fact, we're facing towards Drake Maye. So you're going to see, obviously, you've got linebacker, and sort of 3 down linemen. So you get both come. So it is a 5-man rush. So we know 5-man rush, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get sort of a 6th release. So 6. So it's man on man, half back in the backfield. So we have 6. Well, in fact, we have 7 to block 5. So we should be able to pick this up. We should be able to, to win here. There's a game round there. So there's a stunt there. Now he becomes a spy. You can quite clearly see he's still looking middle of the field. You can still see his eyes. So straight down the middle of the field. Okay, now the man comes on that loop stunt round the back. Has come completely free. So he's come around the back of those 2 defensive tackles sort of taking over there. Loop stunt. He's free in the face. And you can see that he's actually in his break now. He can still throw this, but he doesn't. Decides, but what I do like is the ball carriage, 2 hands on the ball, a little bit away from the body. I'd like to see it tucked in a little bit closer. Again, still looking downfield, trying to make something with it. Stops his feet. Lets Rookie or Haro go past him. And he's getting something positive with it. So it's going to take us into the next play. It's going to be 4th and 6 to go. And they decide to go for it. So 4th and 6. So 4th and 6, we want to kind of get to the 39 going in. With that in mind, looking at the routes, what do we have? Well, really for sort of 39 going in, that's the safe route you can see there. But we can also see, in terms of protection, again, they're sending 5. We have 6 in. We should be able to block it up. So, the balls you throw, you've got man on man, but very tight to the sideline. But that's a short throw. Receiver hasn't really done himself any favours there, being so close to the sideline. So he's probably going to be discounted. You're going to have to come off that. This is also singled. And, with it being a slot cornerback, that's potentially where you want to be coming over to. To me, it looks like he's still looking at this, although that's very tight to the sideline. He decides to air it, so he does throw it. Receiver doesn't step out of bounds, and look at that. What a throw. So, again, I'm not sure if you can sort of zoom in on your screen, but receiver gets away with like a little handoff there. By far the best receiver they've got. I think it's number 9. I think he's going to draft this year as well. Yeah, he's number 9. He's their best receiver by quite some piece. So he's going to the draft. So, tight to the sideline, he took the throw on because it was man on man. So he's got one high man. And again, you can see they're running, Clemson's running another loop stunt here to try and get, those defenders, those offensive linemen blocked up, which they get. Look at this for a ball. You can see it here. Pardon me. So that's how accurate that ball was. Not a massive throw. It's only sort of a 30-yard throw, and it's to the short sideline. So it's not ridiculous stuff, but that's a great throw, I think. So I'm not sure what you think, guys. Jason, also the Bears are one player away from more than one player away from Super Bowl. Bears need D-line to help, ex-receiver and safety. Best way to address this is to trade. Yeah, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's we're not worried about that right now. Looking at Drake Maye, that was a pretty good pass, very nearly touchdown. Okay, so what again? What are you seeing from Clemson? Again, kind of going one high. Again, kind of cornerback to both sides of the field. And here we're going to get we can tell it's man because the linebackers come out here to the flat. So we've got one short, one deep. And again, we've got man. That's not even my cat you can hear. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to let that out of the room. The wonders of being live, eh? It's not even my cat. It's a neighbourhood cat that comes in the house to stay warm. But anyway, so what's he taking? He's definitely looking to this right. And again, he's trusting it. So it's a timing ball. And again, the leverage is what he's trying to do here is this receiver, which is this guy. Again, it's his best receiver. It's number 9. He's going to try and get the hips, but you can see he's sort of neutral to the outside in bails. It's a tough ask for him to get him to turn. He does, gets his hips flipped inside. Now he makes his break to the outside. And you can see the ball is already on its way. What I don't like is sort of long, traditional 2 L's. That's quite funny, Jason. Jason's saying, the cat's saying, trade the pick. We need to get out of there, get out of that number 1 spot like the cat needed to get out of the room. Her name's Bella, and she's trading the number 1 pick to get out of this room and get more assets outside. Either that or some food. That's again, timing ball is that's a throwaway for me. I don't think this is just a bad ball. I think what he's trying to do is, not put the ball into harm's way and risk it. He's just literally trying to, live on to the next down. Again, they're rushing 4 this time. 5-4, good protection. Again, the ball just dies on him, or it's a throwaway. I think it's more of a throwaway. He didn't like the coverage. So into the next play, empty backfield. You're not showing anything other than a pass. Again, they're one high. Pretty good defensive line on Clemson, particularly both defensive tackles for me. Orahoro and Davis, both very good. Again, what we've got here is what looks like a mesh, like a tight mesh. A rub if you want. This being the under guy, this being the over guy, that being the under guy to get around the back. So they're thinking they got man. Let's see if it is. Oh, there's the rub. So this is the guy. So you're expecting a pass kind of in here. Is he going to take it? Waiting way too long on that ball for me. And that's a really bad decision for me. I mean, it's quite clear from the rub that you got here. So he's the first man. He's going under. It's to get him clear. This is deep because this is the corner route they're getting down here. Clear there. This is on all day. So this route kind of coming in to this space here is clear, and he's looking left. He's reading left to right. That's on right now. Put the ball here. This receiver runs into it, into that gap, and you've got, probably you've got your first down, and he's still running because line of scrimmage is here. This is a bad decision, really. Takes on a much more risky throw, going from wider side of the field. Doesn't have a massive arm for me. Slow delivery with the ball. Very deliberate. Never gets anywhere near him. Massive overthrow. And he, at the end of the day, didn't take on what was there for me. This is a poor decision based upon that being a rub route, and it was open. I mean, you can see linebacker, this is the only guy that can really rob that. Stays. He's clearly converting to blitz. And for some reason, Drake Maye chooses to throw, massively overthrow. This is the receiver. There's the ball. And that's where the ball lands, kind of there. That's where the receiver is. So you can see, not a great throw. Poor choice. On to the next one. Looks like we've got a man coming down late. Possible blitzer. motioning out of the backfield. Now he's going to replace it. It looks like they've got a match responsibility. So this originally was going to be the first guy. He would have come if he'd have come late. So he would have matched up with that halfback there. Because it's first man there, he's going to match up and he's probably going to convert to the blitzer there, which he is. So this is open. You know, take what's there at the end of the day. That's open. You know, kind of there's where you want to be throwing it. Pop it over the top. He does. Behind the receiver, stops his feet, thinks about turning back, doesn't. Takes a bit of contact there. 3 defenders coming up on to make the tackle there. Wasn't entirely necessary for me. If he throws it a little bit more inside, we'll see it here on this angle. We're probably going to see the ball is not going to be a particularly sympathetic pass. So we'll go frame by frame. Oops, he says frame by frame. So here's the ball just to highlight where it is. Frame by frame. You can see it's kind of behind the receiver. I mean, that's the frame where he's actually catching it right there. So you can see it's stopping him, turning him around. I mean, at the end of the day, I think stopping him possibly does him a favour because, you know, safety coming up. So I'm not too worried about it being into the body, but that was a little bit behind him. So on Twitch, my first comment on Twitch, which is a genuine one, would it take him or Caleb? Are you talking Bears or are you talking just a team in general trading up to number 1, or are you talking Chicago Bears? Because if I'm the Bears, I'm going to trade that pick away. I've done a video on Caleb. It's linked in the description on YouTube. You're welcome to go and take a look at that after. But for me, both have concerns. Caleb has been in air raid with an RPO, heavy dose of RPO. That's Lincoln Riley's offense. It's not sort of NFL ready. And if your Chicago Bears are going to be running West Coast, there's not a lot of West Coast concepts in that. Not to say that Caleb can't do it. He certainly has all the tools. He hasn't been doing it. He hasn't been taking snaps under center. He hasn't been doing traditional drop back game, but he does have all the tools. He is an excellent quarterback. My concern is he's been in a very gimmicky offense where it's limited reads, 1 or 2 reads per play, very few full field reads, and even then, he's not necessarily taking first option available to him, or first read available to him out of however many reads he has, however many routes he has option open to him. Both of these guys, for me, have things to take into consideration. I don't think either is ready to play straight out of the box, if I'm being honest. So I hope that answered your question. So again, everything out of gun for North Carolina. So again, if you're going to be under center, you're going to be taking West Coast offense principles. There is more to it in this. I mean, we've got what looks like an over and a runoff. So 2 men out on the route. So we're going to get check releases. Yeah, we are. Late release, and probably a hook. So that's going to be kind of what you're going to get here with these sort of deep routes. And this looks like maybe a corner to put that in leverage defender. You can quite clearly see he's going to a landmark. So in terms of safe throw, this is going to be on probably at this point. This definitely not, because you've got 2 defenders in that zone. So that's not on. But you could potentially look at, defender with his back to him. That's an option. This guy's still in bail. So the deep ball probably isn't, unless this is like a super deep comeback. Probably not on. And I think he's throwing this away from being. No, he's not throwing this away. He is taking this option here. So he actually ends up taking this option. So this is quite good. So again, the awareness is he's coming to this point here. Doesn't even look like he's looking at this receiver, but he's already seen him. So let's see if we can see the point where he has. In fact, the point where he's seen this receiver is right now. So he sees this linebacker facing towards, he's going to be in trail. He knows he's going to be in trail. So as we're going deep, he's going to have to turn and bail, and his back's going to be to the ball. Linebackers traditionally are not the best coverage defenders when you put in that position. Might be lazy, but does he reminds me of Justin Herbert. Nowhere near the arm strength of Justin Herbert. But yeah, I can kind of see what you mean in terms of what he looks like in the pocket and his decision making. This is a sympathy. What I do say about Drake Maye is when he's on his game, he throws passes that are easy to catch. And I think some of that, sympathetic, what you call sympathetic passing, I think some of that sympathetic passing is that arm strength, or is that just him passing sympathetic because he didn't have the best receivers? It's probably more of the latter. But this is really good anticipation because he's actually on the move, don't forget here. And he's going to put the ball kind of, all the way down here from that position and see if he completes it. And he does, and that's going to be a touchdown. So we've seen the previous one where it wasn't a great decision and he had someone on and he had thrown it away. And then he comes up with the very next play with that. And that's a better key this time. The defender he's going to read, I don't think we can see now. I don't think it is number 36. I think it's 40 something. It is 36. So it is this guy. And you can kind of see, he's looking at the one high, but he's also seeing this is what you call bracket. So first man into your zone. So this is what you call a match coverage. The first man into this is your zone, but whoever comes in, you're going to carry. So the first man into your zone with match, you're going to turn and follow. And he knows he's got him deep, and you can quite clearly see there. And that's a linebacker hybrid type. And look at that. I mean, the trust here, because you can see, again, now I want you to focus on where his eyes are, where he is. Looking. Okay, get my eyes off. Looking at the spot, feeling that pressure from number 17 behind, looking at 13 in front of him. He doesn't get his chance to get his studs in the floor. So this is all rotation. So what I do like here, so people are going to talk about mechanics all the time with quarterbacks. What I do like here is you see his right foot, which is what he's actually going to rotate off. So all the rotation is going to come from the hips and the shoulders, but you can't do that unless you plant that foot. So this foot, you can see, is quite clearly all the studs are in the ground, planting on that foot. Nice base for him to be able to now rotate around that and get whip on the ball, which he does. And look at the placement on this. So look at this is a fantastic touchdown, really. This is elite level. So you can see decent rotation on the ball, not the fastest rotation on the ball, but like I say, it's more of a sympathetic, and the receiver does double clutch that. So you can see him. That's a really, really, really heady play. All I care about is, can Drake read a defense? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, and go through his progressions. Well, quite clearly he did there. So that was a good example there. The previous play to that, no, he definitely didn't go through his progressions. He obviously liked something, sort of player personnel versus what the scheme had actually got for him. But there, that was very good. So on to the next one again. So again, another way to beat man is where you stack. So you see two receivers stacked here to the bottom, sort of outside alignment, inside alignment. So you tend to get what you call mirrored, so inside and outside alignment. So they're either going to sort out, so they don't get a rub. This is the whole point of this, is to not get a rub. Quite an interesting formation because you've got like a split end here, half back to the right. So it's going to be interesting to see if you get like chip, because again, they're sort of 7 in the box. We're 5 + 2, 7 in the box. So it kind of suggests man. And again, kind of suggests man. So again, inside leverage. What do I always say inside leverage? It's a bit of a tell that the DB wants him to release the outside. He wants to be able to lean on him by the sideline, particularly in college to the short side of the field. So this to me screams, man, one high pre-snap. Let's see what it screams to Drake Maye. Decent snap into his body. Again, sort of what we've actually had here is this kind of look from there, and then sort of 2 check flats. And that's nowhere near, to be honest. I mean, that's not a great decision. I mean, the only one he's got on, really, for me, is that, again, because the receiver, the DB, is going to show the outside. Body position is there. So you could throw this ball inside because we've got all the linebackers here. There's no chance they're going to get to this sort of depth from there. So that's on potentially. That's really about it. I mean, this guy's going to be running into 3. That's not really a chance. one high safety, this is why this would be, where I'd be saying this is where you need to be coming kind of there. He doesn't take that. Instead of that, he's trying to throw it down here. DB has got the speed. You can quite clearly see the DB's got the speed on that. I think he's just hoping for a PI there. And I don't think they get a PI. Joined late, we'll watch from the beginning, worth double dipping. Yeah, there's a couple of things that you've missed so far. And we've just seen an excellent touchdown pass, but the play before that, we saw him not take a read that was quite clearly designed and it was there. So I'm just going to go to the next play that I want to have on there. So it's kind of this one here. So again, we haven't really seen much disguise from Clemson. It's pretty much all been cover one. It's been a mix of man and match. So although match technically is man, it's been man and match. So it's like a zone that converts to man. So again, everything kind of suggests man, which to be fair, if you're Clemson, you're going to think that your guys can probably take their guys. This is just a good timing route. This does translate to West Coast offense. So it's just an easy hitch. I mean, you can quite clearly see, the gap here, the void here, and how far off he is. So how far off and how far detached. So he's that far off and he's this far detached. So we know, really, as long as this end's coming and he's not bailing to the flat, he's not a robber. As long as he's coming, which he is right now, we can see he is, we know that this is on. It's just a quick win. So take it, nice ball, and the guy's still running, and you get your first down. So from 1st and 10, we get sort of 14, 15 yards just by being on time with it. So again, just that's, again, you read, we got one high, we know we got one high. So it's just really, is he a robber or is he coming? Because we've got 4 here, 5th here. So who's coming, who's staying? At the end of the day, they're both coming. So we've got big on big in terms of blocking. Again, they're running a twist, which North Carolina cannot, do not resolve this twist. But it doesn't matter because it's just timing, out, nice ball position, out in front of the receiver. Look at all the room, all the grass he's got to run into. Takes advantage. Nice tackle at the end of the day in trial position. Maybe just pick up your feet a little bit more and you might have some more yards. So again, motion out of the backfield, and we get motion from deep to be over the top. So this is sort of tight end type body. This is tight end type body. So it looks like sort of 12 personnel, but it's definitely gun. 3 to the wide side, 1 to there. Very often, this would be the read side of the field. But you've got, potential to do kind of that kind of thing over here. Let's see what we get. Look, again, the leverage really is the key. I mean, look how far inside he is. He's inside. So the fact all 3 of these guys are inside leverage really does, or it should, scream that it's man. Okay, inside leverage, you can see, if anything, he's turned towards the sideline already. It really does scream man, 1 high. So what are the routes against that? And again, the routes are deeper, check, dig. This is going to be open, so just gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. He's taking the right pass here, but that's a guy I really like, Ruka or Horo. Oh, it's actually 0 on the blitz. Gets the ball. So on to the next play, because that doesn't really tell us much. But again, did he go to the right receiver? Yes, he did. So again, coverage, nothing to write home about. Again, we're in gun, empty. Yeah, so Nagy would probably love this offense, but this really is dead in the water. I mean, the only thing he's got on really is that, which is a 1 yard completion. Because it's 1 high and the safety's going this way, if you like your matchup, that's where you need to be going with the ball. But again, you want that. You want this to be our guy or no guy, so you'd want to put that sort of more inside with where the defender is leveraged. Is he going to take that option? Pressure's in his face, rolls left. Now it's scramble drill, so rather than carrying on, he's turned back. So now it's a case of like, what are we going to get out in front of us? Do we need to run it ourselves? Ends up running it yourself. Get to the sticks, get the first down, stay safe. Good decision. Wasn't really anything on the pass there. So I think that's a pretty good decision there to sort of just take off with that. Does he, where does he put the ball? Does he keep it in safe, nice, high and tight? And does he keep two hands on the ball when he's running with it? So you can clip that if you want with the. And that's how quickly you get that. His line gets beaten there. But again, it's two hands on the ball while he's transitioning. He's one hand in it now. Half-ass pump fake. But at the end of the day, his receiver's in a decent position, tight end's in a decent position. Get the first down, live to fight another day. On to the next play. Again, looking at one high. Again, looking at sort of inside leverage on all the DBs. I mean, it's short side of the field. That's the only problem. We are going to get over the middle because these two linebackers are short again. So this potential, in fact, really, I mean, these two are both potential. So what is he doing with his eyes? His eyes kind of look at the one high safety. The safety definitely is more worried with that side of the field than this side of the field. And with that depth, I'm beginning to think at this point, he only gets a split second, but that's kind of where I'm thinking we're going to go. He's taking way too long in the pocket now. Now we really are kind of getting into trouble because we're very late trying to throw that, and he ends up taking a hit, and the ball ends up falling safely there. But that's almost a strip sack, especially the way he hangs the ball. He kind of does that traditional, old school mechanics of an L shape behind him. You're going to see it here. He's got to make this decision quicker or not at all, really. You see him going left, going to the right now, nothing on there, coming back to the left. I mean, that really, you can see the receiver's feet there. If you throw it now, you've got a chance. If you throw it inside and low because of where the defender is, which is behind, you've got a chance of completing it. But again, waits. You see how far he's hanging this ball back behind him. This is sort of strip sack mechanic. You hang the ball back like that. Ends up not doing it because the running back's close to him. Clutch. And then the ball does get sort of knocked. He just manages to get enough sort of forward impetus on it for it not to be a fumble. But that's so close to being stripped away from him. But he does manage to get sort of forward velocity onto the ball, get it away. But that's, again, a late decision, which I don't like because it wasn't that difficult to make a decision. Well, that's one way to go with it. Seems like a better pocket passer than Fields. Yeah, I don't agree. But, I mean, you're welcome to put in the chat why you think he is a better pocket passer than Fields. We're seeing some of the same issues where receivers are breaking at the same time and there's not an early option. But we are seeing quite clearly here where you get sort of two rub routes and a quick, easy answer on routes like this. And he's definitely reading this side of the field. You can quite clearly see it. He's reading this side of the field. So he has a quick option on, which is this. Is he taking it? He is. But again, he's late with that. And now he's putting the ball this side. So rather than putting the ball out here where the defender isn't, he's put the ball inside and the defender's coming down and he gets absolutely clattered. He holds on to the ball though. So 4-yard gain, real chance of that turning into kidney damage. So the motion, you saw the rotation in the DBs there. So when I say rotation, so this is a one high safety. Once he gets past the midline, he's going to then trail. So he's trailing to this point. So he'll take him in man there, so match. If not, he's then going to replace this one high safety there, and he's going to be the match coverage there. So you see it rotates, you see them rotate over. Now I'm the one high safety, you're the match over the top of that. So he knows the coverage he's got, or he should know the coverage he's got. Again, looking right all the way, just late on it. And you talk about, everyone likes to talk about delivery. This is a long delivery. This is a long wind up. And you see he's not particularly that urgent with his feet. Crow hopping a little bit there. Extra steps. Does get his feet in the ground, but you see that L shape and it's like long wind up. It's not that long a pass. And it's high. And he gets a helmet in his kidneys for his troubles. So on to the next one. So again, you see the leverage here with the DB. You see him coming down here. We know this area of the field is on with this route. But you can also see play fake, his back's turned. So context. Now he's got a head around. See him get his head around, get his hips out of the way. And that's becoming what looks like a whip route now. But he's got nothing else on. He's got two routes. I mean, this looks like a Nagy offense. Two routes, and it's like asking a tight end type over the top of a safety to be able to beat him. The only thing he's got on really now is that deep or this, super short behind the line of scrimmage. It's don't like this, but again, he's taking a more difficult option. Although 9 is his best receiver, so that's probably why he's doing that. He's taking 9 because that's just his best receiver. Yeah, so we've got extra bodies in the backfield. We can block all of that up, although they're only sending 4, which means we've got 2 routes out on coverage. And again, you see, this is the thing with me, is like how you can tell. I mean, look how far he's hanging that ball out there. Look how far behind him it is. This isn't that long a throw. You don't need to use that much swing with your arm to get the ball there. So the ball, I've done it again just to help you track it's there. The receiver's late getting his hands up. Yeah, is that PI? Probably. Doesn't get called though. Next one. So we're seeing this is obviously one of the better defenses he played against at North Carolina. So again, in terms of the routes, this is sort of again 2 in breaking, 1 out. The idea is that if they're in man, you're going to get that's your first read. That would be your second if it's zone. That's really not on. You can kind of see he's already looking there. He throws to the second guy. Receivers, DB's driving down over the top of it. Literally, as the ball's getting there, so is the DB. That was a better option to me, but is that number 2 and the other one's number 1, or is he just going to the guy that he trusts? I think it's the latter. I think he's throwing to the receiver he trusts, because we're going to see here he's on. I mean, put the ball in here. He's got leverage, but he doesn't. He's taking a much harder option. And he does complete it because, again, it's his best receiver, but it's a shorter route and he doesn't have opportunity to run after the catch. I'm not a big fan of that play. I think, again, it's a poor choice based upon 2 reads. Again, 3 on 3. Again, over the top. So, I mean, this potentially, with the linebacker in the position that he is, if the linebacker's more central, you're probably thinking, it might even be a 0, it might be a blitz. But with him being there in concert over the top, looks like 1 high, looks like cover 1. Linebacker is coming and the halfback staying in. So it's actually a robber. So what he's thinking is, show blitz with this guy, take the hot read away by robbing. You see 0 robs, the flat, and we get this man beater here. So again, it's a rub route with that kind of look. That's kind of the guy that you want to take it to. He's robbing it. This looks like, and the halfbacks, I mean, this is so close to. He puts it on the back hip, which is good. Receiver catches it. That's a risky throw with the robber there. He just doesn't see the robber. Doesn't see 0 robbing at all. and it's to his read side of the field. So you can see him, you should be able to see in his periphery, Zero's bailing. But it's just the width of the field that helps him out there because Zero's got too much room to run into. So let me know what you're thinking so far of Drake Maye. We'll look at a better game for him because this is obviously this is Clemson, and it's a tough ask for him at the end of the day versus personnel mano a mano. Again, looking left, he's already discounted that side of the field. Looking right, he really doesn't have much on. Again, they're in man. Everything's man. Yeah, everything's man. And there's not really anything man beater there. I mean, this is not good offense. 2 receivers within 5 yards. 2 receivers within 5 yards. He really doesn't have much to throw to here. I think he's going to take the inside guy, that one, and maybe kind of put it in here somewhere. That's really all he's got on. No, he tries to just throw the check down, but guy's in his hip pocket. Again, that's more of a sort of a safe throw where we get a flag on it at the end of the play. Is that going to be a hold, maybe? Yeah, that looks like maybe it could be. So this is, he ends up trying to take this sort of sit, this sort of, and you see him come, that could be PI actually, because it looks like holding. And in fact, it's pass interference, isn't it? Yeah, that looks like PI. So he does probably get something out of that. Why this ref doesn't see it? We do see two. We do see 2 flags come in, so that is pass interference. So he does get something out of that. Again, this looks more sort of like disguised cover 2. So again, we do have 2 safeties deep, but not what you would call a traditional cover 2. We do have tight end and that, so you could say relationship-wise. Again, I always talk about relationships between DBs and receivers. And again, this kind of, with him being so far inside here and this being the wide side of the field in college, if you get something like that, you're happy days over here. But we'll see what we get. He's bluffing inside. I think, no, he's actually coming. So that is the blitz. So, in a more sophisticated offense, hopefully you'd have an option to sort of sit and take that blitzer early. But again, he's reading the single side of the field. Got a halfback going to the flat on what looks like a wheel. This looks like it might be sort of just a deep out. Again, timing throw. See how far off he is. It's just going to take it. That's a tight throw to the sideline, so your timing's going to be absolutely on with this. Let's see if it is. Okay, so decision to throw is made there. That, you see that big wind up? He really does. It's almost like a looping motion to throw the ball. He drops the ball down, winds up with that big L shape on the arm. 2 L's, L there, bringing the ball round to there, throw. And that's kind of what that's very old school mechanics. And again, it's just, you see this. You see the lack of, and this is really, look at the difference between the speed of his throw and the speed of Caleb Williams, and it's because this is a big loopy wind-up throw. Yeah, he does get his shoulder through, gets his elbow out of the way, so he does get some rotation on the ball. There is some zip on it, but it's a really big lollipop loop wind-up. It's kind of, again, he's making his receiver sit. It's a good timing throw at the end of the day, and he gets the first down, so can't knock it too much. But in the NFL, that's going to get driven on. I don't know if you know Pesos, but this is a Drake Maye breakdown. So, again, thank you for your input on Justin Fields yet again. Let's have a look at Drake Maye and see if we can see it with Drake Maye. But again, North Carolina's offensive line not really helping him a great deal. And again, you can see how far he's hanging it out behind him. Big loopy wind up, brings it into his shoulder. That's where the whip and rotation comes in. But we really don't need to push that ball that far back behind us. And again, receivers sort of sitting waiting for it. So he's a little bit late on the throw, and the ball gets knocked out because of it. So it's not actually a completion. Couldn't see that from the other angle. We'll go into the next one, and then I think what we'll do is we'll look at a game that he had a lot more success in, which is Minnesota. I've not already gone through the tape on the Minnesota, so we'll just look at it live as we are. Again, nothing really much disguised in terms of coverage. You're getting what you're getting, which is man. Cover one. Again, it's a timing route. If you throw it early, that's on. This deep part of the field is on because he's up. So these two receivers, that one and this one, are both on. But these aren't his favourite guys. I think 9 is his favourite guy. And he's trying to throw there, which is just not a good decision. We'll take one more look at a play from this. This is a better look. So from your own end zone, again, asked to pass. RPO type look. Everyone out of the backfield. Again, it's man. If this guy sits, that's your only option here. Or, down here, this sort of dig. Those are your two options. This guy, this guy. Good movement to evade pressure there. He's still got his eyes downfield. Yeah, good tough run, gets the first down. So he really does sort of kind of put the team on his back there. I don't know how you can suggest Fields has got a slower wind-up than this, to be honest. That's a bit comical. Pesos? I don't know how you pronounce it. You'll have to help me out in the chat. We'll look at one more, then we're going to Minnesota. 2nd and 18. So this is he's not really been helped out a great deal here, but that's the line to make there. Again, only rushing forward with a loop. Again, timing route. So again, just a man beater because everything they're doing is man. So it's just there. Linebacker's going to be in here all day, and he does. But we get back to the original sticks. So 1st and 18. We'll see what they do in the next play. And again, in terms of mechanics and wind up and all the rest of it, that's. I've said it enough times now. I personally think that's a really bad place to be putting the ball. So I don't like Drake Maye's mechanics. He does get his shoulder through it and rotate. You can see there's a slight wobble on the ball. It's a higher arc again. Into receiver. Receiver makes good, but gets hit by the linebacker. Back to the original line to gain. So that's him against Clemson. We'll have a look at the tape against Minnesota. We'll just go straight from the start. So more of a cover 2 look. Again, we drafted a DB from Bears, drafted a DB. So the difference is sort of out to in kind of look. Again, that's fairly neutral. So it's still slightly inside leverage, slightly outside leverage there. Really wide split on the safeties, which is quite unusual. Offset, so lines kind of left, linebackers are right. Again, we've got that sort of split end kind of look halfbacks the same side this time. So we get, is it cover 2? It is cover 2. Wide open straight off the bat. He's throwing this. I mean, both of these are open at the end of the day. I don't know what Minnesota are doing in coverage there, but and again, that ball's behind the receiver again. So possibly makes more yards if he just puts it in front of him. I'm not quite sure what Minnesota were thinking on coverage here, but that's, again, play action. Everyone bites. I mean, linebackers are all up in here. There's our guy. You can see the ball's already out, so again, no wasted movement this time. The ball's tighter. He doesn't do that massive, loopy wind-up. And again, because he's kind of whipping it through, he's not putting it out in front of the receiver. The receiver has to gather it for 3 steps into contact. Puts the ball out in front. He's still running. Again, we're kind of looking like pre-snap cover 2, possibly cover 6. Say cover 6 because that would be the cover 2 side. This would be the 6. The 4 deep kind of look from there. So you suggest this is probably man. And, the linebackers are quite tight here. So this is, in fact, this could be cover 1. So So it could be cover 2, and you'd expect the linebacker to take the inside, whichever the first man in is. You expect him to take that. See him rotate down. We are getting that cover 1. And again, so you got zone beta here, right here, zone beta. But again, with 1 high, he's got outside release on this guy here. So again, this I think is his better receiver as well. He's got outside release. He's got a lot of room to work in here. So that really is on. You can see at the moment he's looking in here. Hasn't seen it. Now he's moving out towards where the pressure is actually coming from. Is he still going to take this guy? Because he's on still. Bows out. Keep going. Keep going. He is. Throw it. Doesn't. What a shame. It takes a lot of contacts at the end. So, a couple of opportunities on here. He's got one that's under and then one that's later over the top. That's a zone beater. Over here, he has the guy who beats his guy on the outside there. That's on for a touchdown. Oh, he's definitely looking this way, so he should know by now because that guy's one-on-one with 1 high safety. He's already seen the rotation and the safety here. So he should be taking that deep option right now, really, but he doesn't, comes off it. That's the under. We've got one coming around the back on the over. Doesn't take that. Feels the pressure here. Rather than stepping up and coming away, goes towards where the defender is. Does beat him with a handoff, run past him. Could still take that deep ball. Declines. And then takes a pretty decent hit. Fumbles the ball at the end. I know where his plan come in. There's plenty to look at. We're looking at the better tape now, really. So QB keeper, can he do a QB keeper? Yes, he can. Again, what he does is rather than sort of follow it straight behind the center, you see he goes behind the guard. So he kind of takes it and then goes to the outside. Again, that's because they're pinching the hole. It does well there. First and 10 looks like cover 1. Motion. Goes past centre. You see the rotate? You see they're rotating? Is he? No, he's in man. So we are getting man. And there's a blitzer. They timed that up well. Quick option. He's right there. He's not even looking. He's running. He's not seeing that blitz come. That's a quick hit there. And it's just it's an out. Again, because of this sort of, it's got a really long wind up with his throwing motion. What I do like is like all the studs are in the ground. That's fine. I do like that, but I don't like this. I've said it enough times now, probably boring people with it, but it's a really long wind up for what is essentially a short throw, and he's late with it as well. So he's going to be so close to the sideline now. If he does catch it at all, and I think he might be out of bounds. No, they call him in. And a really bad spot as well by the look of it. Again, because it's short side of the field, there's that blitzer. At least protection's called the right way. He calls a protection right. So he's done that clearly. They've called protection right. So they've done that right. Left the tight end 1-on-1 over here. So the protection call's good. And again, look at this like real loopy wind up that he has. And you see, he doesn't really get full arm extension either, because you really want that arm to be kind of almost dead straight when you're releasing the ball from that fingertip. And again, there goes the ball. See how high it is for a short pass. Yeah, there's only one person going to catch that if he does catch it, which he doesn't. So rather than looking at it in, receivers, you've got his arms out. And again, just North Carolina receivers. Number 9 is by far their best guy. He's probably like a 4th rounder, I would think, 4th, 5th round. Again, so again, what are you seeing in coverage, guys? So when the motion comes across, you see this safety at the top communicating, and then you see them roll down. So now we're 3 by 1. So we're probably going to get a rotation. Rather than looking like cover 2, we're probably now going to be in man, this side, cover 1. So from looking like cover 2 pre-snap, it's a bubble. So it's a nothing. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think it was cover 1 in the end. When they rotate, I think it's cover 1 in the end. But this is just a bubble, so it's really nothing. In fact, we'll just move on to the next one. Again, looking at relationships, look at the leverage. So inside, or those facing in, which is quite unusual. Inside, again, sort of slightly outside there. One safety there. This is a safety who looks like he's in man over the tight end. So it looks like cover 1 to me. Now it's looking like cover. No, it's still cover 1. But they're rotating. So he's the one high safety now. In fact, yeah, it's just cloud under. That's his guy. It's open right there. Moves out of the pocket. Sees he's got a man deep, no deep safety. Look at that. Big boy throw. This is all off platform now at the end of the day. In terms of what should the pass should be coming out right now. And to be honest, you've got it. Just throw it on this hip. You've got that. But he ends up taking this one-on-one, which is here. But it's only after he sort of he kind of navigates up this time. Last time he actually went out to the outside, but he still made it out. He moves up and out this time and then throws a strike downfield. Let's see what it looks like. Good movement up into the pocket. Eyes downfield. A little bit short on the throw. Called a touchdown. A little bit short on the throw, but again, what I like is, when he moves out, what you're going to see is as he's about to throw this, he'll get his right foot down, plant that right foot, and that's what he's throwing off. He's throwing, literally rotating everything around the back. And you see when he has to rotate around that foot and he can't do that big loopy wind up, he's actually kind of better with the ball. Again, in terms of position, maybe a little bit, kind of put the ball here, but the ball ends up here. But not bad off the run. And it's a place where, with his defender in trial, that's really the only his guy's the only guy that can get it. And it's a touchdown. So pretty good. Again, looks like zone under. Possibly cover 4. I think this is probably cover 4 looking at it with, 3 under. Yeah, it does look. No, it's cover. Is it cover 2? No, it is cover 4. And what's Drake doing? Right, he's supposed to be throwing the ball right now. Does he have anything on? No. Okay, move out. I mean, probably just take the check down, but, keep moving out. Lots of space to run to. This guy looks like he might be a winner. But then you're going to have to kind of get it to here. Do you just throw it to the sideline or do you just run with it? He does end up throwing to the sideline. Just throwing it away. So, we don't really need to say throw away. We'll just skip past this one. Was a good decision to throw away. I think he probably could have ran with it there. Late player onto the field. So, if you're QB, you're heady QB, you see this guy coming on late and that guy's uncovered. Get the ball snapped. And again, where is this guy going? So now we've got, this guy's late onto the field covering here and we're doing a check to the sideline. So it's all calls coming in from sideline. 3rd down and 9 to go. We've got them with their pants down a little bit and we're doing a check to sideline. There's a signal with the board. showing 5, probably rushing 3, and dropping. But we'll see. We'll see if this. Yeah, they are just dropping. So it's again flat. So flat over the top. So this is kind of like for wanting to get to here. I'm kind of thinking no one's going to get there if we could just throw him the ball now, and he does. He gets the first down. Good decision. Good decision. Good pass. There's that long loopy wind up again. It's a short pass for Christ's sake. But that's the right guy to go to, and he gets it to him. So kudos there. Just as a side note, this is the ADHD brain in me. I kept looking at the tape thinking, what the bloody hell is a car doing that high in the stand? But then I realised this is completely open. That's a long way in the distance behind the stands. So, not the brightest maybe. So we see this suggests one man. Again, weird position to have the safety lined up off the start, but it is what it is. And now you see him rotate to the middle of the field. It's not really fooling anyone. It's one man. Play action gets everyone biting. We have an easy pass. Again, because it's so. If Caleb Williams is throwing this ball, and I hate to bring up his name because I'm sure it's going to come with Justin Fields' site somewhere because I mentioned the name Caleb Williams. But Caleb Williams, there's none of this long, windy. At the end of the day, the longer you are in this delivery, and just what I want you to do is we'll look at this mechanic of this motion because he's clear of the play action now. Now he's in a position to throw, theoretically. You can literally just whip it with your arm out in front of you and get it there. But he does this long, loopy wind up. And what I want you to watch is this guy coming. So he started to throw. We still haven't thrown. Now the ball is out of our hands. And look at the speed that the ball's getting there. It's not a very fast ball. Look how close the DB is by the time the ball lands with the receiver. And we end up getting nothing after it. There's a lot of love for Drake Maye. Is he number 1 overall? For me, no. Again, it's just you're already in a position to look how chattery he is with his feet here. It's just an RPO, for Christ's sake. Why you got right foot up on an RPO? I mean, have your left foot up, your body's already open for the RPO. Have the ball in front of you. This makes, and then you see all of this going on here. It's like pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter. So you count the steps, caught the ball. Right, from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're throwing off that right foot, and then the ball's not a rocket when he gets there, and by the time he's caught it, bang. I don't know, top 2 quarterback overall. Your thoughts in the chat? Again, safety rotating over the top again, sort of relationship guys. So far inside, late coming over inside. Man suggests probably going to get man there again. We got this safety over the top. They're trying, who are you trying to fall with? Cover 2. Look, you're getting cover 1. In fact, it might even be 0. Look how far off they are. It's 2nd and 7, and now you get this bunch. And as you get the bunch again, V shape is what we're going to get again. Trying to sell this cover 2 look. They're actually sorting this out pretty well because that rub does nothing. He's on the he's over there, fine. And then Caleb's got nowhere to go because they've sorted that out pretty well. I mean, what he does have is this here. Or, that there, or check down. But check down's probably now the only thing that's on realistically, or this guy. So these are your 2 options, is that dude and that dude. That's a good comparison in chat there. His receivers are crash test dummies. He get rocked with his telegraph throws. He's looking there. He's just got a slow release. He's got a slow wind up, slow release. His decision making's all right. The offense, I don't think particularly helps him. I don't think it's a great offense, but it is what it is. This is actually one of his better games against Minnesota. He had over 400 yards passing in this game. I think 2 or 3 touchdowns. Again, his line getting beaten by a drum by not the best defensive line in football, college football last year, but against they're so late on defense. This really is kind of like Keystone Cop stuff. You should be taking advantage one high, and then again with this late check with me. So we're getting that early. They're confused. Now we're making an adjustment on offense. This is the sort of it's a similar offense to what Caleb Williams is in, to be honest. It's air raid or an air raid variant. Now, this is less RPO based than USC. So again, in terms of options, you've got an in breaking route there, another one there, check down. I mean, they're all potentially viable, but now we're booting to the left. Who's training us? Nobody. Everyone's late to trail. Just becoming a runner. And you can see where he's going to get to the first down marker here. And to be fair to him, gets the first down. Well, again, you can't, should he have taken one of those options a little bit earlier? Again, running into the pressure. But he gets the first down. So again, we're looking at one high. Halfback changes strength. Again, they're kind of, giving him something to think about with the coverage. It's going to be a blitzer. There's a play action fake. We'll just get past that. It's clearly a false start or something. Yeah, false start. Now it becomes 1st and 15, and we're going in bunch formation. So 2 bunches. So cover 2 shot. I mean, they're both open. I mean, this really is like pretty basic stuff. Everyone's seen this in Madden, haven't you? I think everyone's seen this playing Madden. So I think they're taking this straight out of the Madden playbook. And it's a cover 2 beater at the end of the day. It's like what you're doing is conflict defender. With it being an even split, wide side of the field probably is where you want to go first, but we're looking left. Again, is that because of arm or is it because of his favourite receiving? If he throws this, really the decision to throw this, it needs to be now. Because that's where that break is. So you should be throwing it right now. You should already be in your mechanics to throw this right now because you want to be throwing it here. And then, crow hop, plant, throw, and then that long loopy wind up. And look how close the defenders are getting already. And then catches the ball, bang, bang, 2 hits. But I think that's number 9 because he comes down with it. No, 6. This guy. So decision to throw is as he's level with this guy. He knows now this guy's not in trial. We've got the cover 2 conflict we want. The whole shot's on. It should just literally be winding up and throwing it because of his slow wind up. Takes an extra 2 steps. Look how wide his base is, and then look how far that loopy wind up is. It's just like his mechanics are like so old school. And then that's Jesus. Fair play receiver. Really is not the most sympathetic pass that time. I did say he throws sympathetic passes, maybe not in terms of who he's throwing to and when. He's just a little bit late on it. Okay, it's just a handoff. No good to us. They'll carry on to the next play. Again, Minnesota really late into what they're doing, but Carolina aren't ready to go. We don't have a play call. We've got them in. We've got them in all kinds of disarray, but we're not ready to go. Low confidence that his mechanics can be fixed. No, I think they probably can, but he's gonna have to change things. So I think I don't see. It's going to sound harsh because a lot of people are saying first round quarterback. I don't see a first round quarterback. Not want to be confident in taking it. Unless I can sit him for 2-3 years. Even there, to be fair to him, he's got literally no option on at all. Everything's very linear. This is almost like Nagy routes. By the time he's got something on, his offensive line are giving up the ghost. Why everything's deep roots on that, I don't know. It's just not being helped out by a scheme either, to be fair. So, I mean, are you going to knock him down because of that? Halfback does a good job with the pass pro there. But his offense line, pretty terrible. 4th and 14 and going for it. Again, Minnesota all over the place in the coverage. It looks like, just basically covered it. It looks like everyone at the sticks, right at the sticks with 2 over the top is basically what it looks like in terms of coverage. And 4th and 14, they can do that. Just have cloud, and it's almost cover 3 now over the top. 5 under, rush 3, 3 over the top. Punt. Not very often you see that. 4th and 14, keep the defenders on there, no returners on there. Punting from your own 45. And where's the ball going to land? Inside the 20, coffin corner. 13-yard line? Pretty good. So as a punter, honestly, that's not where I'm at to, not first round. He's got talent because, like I say, some of his off-platform stuff, if you go back to the start of the stream, there's some decent plays that he made against Clemson, which was actually one of his harder games. But this one, he actually got some. I think we're coming up to some of his better stuff now. Again, just doesn't take it. He's got an option to throw. Yeah, he got that on now. Got that on now. Got that on now. Everyone's coming back to you. You could be throwing it right now. He does. Takes a halfback though. Halfback gets first down. I think he's not that confident that he can get the ball out fast. I think that's part of the problem is because he's that slow with his mechanics. He's like, oh no, I can't throw that. But that's a much better sort of off-platform throw. Look at the difference between this and the long wind-up. When he's off-platform, it's almost like he's a better passer than when he's in platform because he doesn't have that massive long wind-up. So he can do it. He can do it. He can tighten up his mechanics. He doesn't have to do that big loopy wind-up. But it seems like when he's in schedule, it is. So boot action. So again, what you're getting is like a deep there and then a delay over the top. So you're getting like a levels half field concept with a third coming out the back. So you're getting short round. Sorry, let me do it properly. Getting short, we're getting a deep, we're getting an over, and then we're getting like a check release in here. So we're getting like four routes that side of the field. Although the tight end doesn't actually run with it. Lyman's got himself downfield, so in the NFL that would be called an ineligible downfield. Is he going to throw it? No, he's going to run with it and get out of bounds. So first down, you take 6 yards. Again, there's that play action, boot action. That's probably your dude. Again, he just doesn't have the confidence to put it there with this guy here. That's why he's not throwing it. He doesn't have the confidence to throw that. Fields probably opens up his hips and throws it to the tight end here, but 4-5 yards, take that on first down. Oh, sorry, second down. This time they do catch Minnesota in all kinds of mess. Let's see if we get a deep shot. Hopefully we do. Oh, he's not come off this left side. And look how tight is the sideline. No good. That's a touchdown. He's come over to it now. Throw it, man. And he does. I'll tell you what. There's nothing better as a big tight end that's has to block most of the time than when you get nobody covering you. Because you're not the fastest guy on the field. You're not the slimmest guy on the field. You're not the best looking. You're probably one of the best at answers. But again, look at how wide and spread out everything. Oh, I'm going to do a big loopy throw. It's like, oh, Jesus. It's just not great mechanically. And again, he's big guy is not the fastest. He's having to wait for the ball to get there. And it's not a touchdown. So when could he have thrown this? When could he have thrown this realistically? When does he actually see him? When does he see him? Now he's seen him. Now he's seen him. So, 1, 2 steps, load up and throw. No, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop my feet, 7. Take another 2 steps, 8, 9. Now I'm throwing it. And this distance, because the ball, at the end of the day, he's 35-yard line. So it is a longer throw. It's probably 50 yards right at the end of his range because that ball's dying. That should have been a touchdown. Not for this guy, no. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Caleb or Jaden Daniels, depending upon your flavour. But to me, because Caleb is so much better than... So I'd say Caleb won, even with his faults, if you can fix him, if the interviews are good. Then you're looking at probably Jaden Daniels, then maybe Penix, then possibly Nix over Maye. But this guy's rated number 2 overall. I personally see a lot of issues. I don't know, maybe, I'm being unfair. I don't know. That's a good ball. And again, his off-platform throws are better than his in-platform because he doesn't have that massive wind-up. Look how much better the throw is. It's an interception. I'll say that, and then it's an interception. He literally throws it straight to the receiver. The DB, sorry. That's on me. But he is better. He does look better when he's not able to. Oh God, he really came across that. He just didn't see him. He was throwing. Pretty sure he was trying to throw it to 6. We'll do a couple more. In fact, let's scroll a little bit further in and see if we can get a decent play of him. Again, what are we getting? Looks like cover 4. Again, DB's driving on it really quick. It's just a short out. Because it's so behind him as well. I don't know, man. I'm not sold. I think we'll call it there anyway. We'll call it there. This is Drake Maye. That's 2 games worth of all 22. Based upon what I've looked at and what I've seen, there's a lot to fix in his throwing mechanics. He hangs the ball out way too long. He's in a bit of a gimmicky offense. We can't really knock him for that. It's going to be interesting to see I'm not sure if he's Senior Bowl eligible, but if he is, it's going to be interesting to see what he does there versus people like Penix and Nix, who are going to be at the Senior Bowl. I think there's a strong chance Drake Maye isn't even a first-round quarterback, not based upon what I've seen anyway. Again, that might be me being a bit harsh. You've had a look at it yourself. The ball takes a long time to get there. There's not a lot of power behind it, and most of that's because of mechanics. People talking about him being a surefire 1 or number 2 quarterback. I personally don't see it. Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than him. I think Penix is a better quarterback. Again, Penix doesn't have a great arm, but I don't think Drake May has a great arm. But that's me, Bellissimo, and that's the tape. And what I ask you to do is be kind to somebody today, help out. And this is me saying I'm going to be out. Look at the bottom. Be kind. Bear down. Bellissimo. Cheers. Take care.